Everybody. I'm here with Stephan of Peter Sölva Wines. We are going live on YouTube for sure, possibly also on Instagram. um, I see something. All right, guys, this is just, it's there. All right. And now we're going live on Instagram. And thank you for waiting if anyone is on YouTube. Hey everybody, I am here I'm Rose Thomas Bannister from Modo di Bere, from Modo di Bere TV, and I'm here with Stephan of Peter Sölva Wines. Hey, is it on? Okay. Instagram is live. That's fantastic. Hopefully YouTube is going to join us too. Great. Oh, and YouTube is live. Okay, we're live everywhere. This is Wine Doc Face Off, guys. This is a crowdfunding campaign for Modo di Bere TV, the wine and language travel show that I've been filming for 3 years, 8 seasons on 3 continents, and now you get to decide which season is going to air first. And today is an elimination day in our little crowdfunding tournament, right? So the ultimate winner will become season 1 of Modo di Bere TV. And what we're calling the Dolomites season, but which for our purposes is Trentino-Alto Adige, Südtirol, where Stephan is a winemaker. So Stephan, why don't you tell us about your winery, which we filmed for the show, and tell people why they should vote for the Dolomites today.
At first, hello to everybody. It's a pleasure to be in this round of connoisseurs and talking about areas, talking about wineries, talking about nice spots in the world. We are living here in the Dolomites, and our situation in terms of climate and mountains and valleys is so wonderful that we can do a lot of different wines. And indeed, winery Peter Sölva is one of the oldest here in this town. We are in a small town in the south of the biggest city of the region, which is in the northern part of Italy. And we are in the middle of the hills. And we are surrounded by the Alps, and especially by all those wonderful pictures of the Dolomites. And what makes this region so special? Obviously, we need for good wine a good climate. And thank God we have mountains influence and we have Mediterranean influence. So through the valleys, we get some more warm winds, and from the Alps, we get some more cold winds. So that makes our winery exactly making wonderful whites from the higher elevation and wonderful reds in the lower elevation. So winery Peter Sölva has 12 hectares. So we are not so big. We are a family business. I'm the 10th generation. My daughter is even the 11th. And we produce around of 100,000 bottles. And we have a special history, Spanish roots. That's very, let me say, unusual for this region because the most of the people here in this Alto Adige, South Tyrol is Austrian, but my family is coming from Spain. And after several generations, we are still working with the names of the family. So that's the reason why we have Amistar, if someone maybe saw it, and why we have the Silva. And both are going for single vineyard selections. And Amistar is just a selection from the best crop, but especially to remember the Spanish history. So very shortly, what we are, where we are, and what we like to do. And absolutely important to finish that we share that with you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for looking for good wines. That's the reason why we are all here.
Yes, it's definitely the reason I'm here and why I'm so happy about my work uh I've just gotten to work with wine for the last, 10, 15 years, but you guys have been doing it for 11 generations, so you must be pretty happy, I would say, up there in this beautiful place. And I was when I visited you when we filmed for Modo di Bere TV, and I got to say, Stephan, that episode is just going to be so fun for people to watch because we did so many wine people things. We sabered. We opened a bottle of your delicious sparkling wine with a big knife. I want to say a sword because that's sort of what it's like, and that's what the image is opening wine with a sword. And we also, I believe my friend Michael Wiseman. Who's also written articles for us and been on the podcast is here. I know that for a fact that Michael is interested in large format bottles, so bigger than the typical one. Usually you see the Magnum, which is like a double bottle, but you have some extra large format bottles that people will get to see on the show. They are named after obscure Bible characters, all the different sizes. Some of those bottles are so large that you have to use a special holder to pour them. And we got to show that in your winery. Could you tell us a little bit about this large format thing for people who maybe have never heard of it?
I think that the most important part is to enjoy a good glass of wine. And we have to talk about storage. We have to talk about development of the wines. And let me say that honestly, what is important for everyone out there when you get a nice bottle of wine. Small bottles are absolutely okay and fine, but sometimes, especially in terms of development, a bigger bottle like Balthazar, which is that what needs supporting machinery to pour the wine in the glass, is a wonderful size of 12-liter bottles. They are absolutely nice for a nice development and sometimes much better than in the small bottles. So for nice communities, for nice group of people, they maybe are looking for a nice glass of wine. They should thinking about that because nice 12-liter bottles called with the Bible name Balthazar is absolutely a nice expression, especially in this big bottle. The development is much better. And even without machinery, you can pour it. You have to have a little bit of,
A little
strength.
strong
Uh,
mountain arms, yeah.
exactly. But it's a wonderful possibility to enjoy nice wine. Doesn't matter from which area the wine is coming from. Important is that the wine is in a high quality level. Then a big bottle, a big size is always a good choice.
So, from what I understand, the reason that the development would, so that thing when people talk about wine, fine wine, aging, is what we say, the wine world development, has to do with this very slow oxygen exchange. So, a little evaporation of the wine through the cork and a little bit of oxygen coming in. And of course, the cork is there, it's nice and tight. Hopefully, the cork is kept wet because the wine is laying on its side as it ages, and there's the foil over it. It's, certainly not letting the wine out. But there's a very, very slow micro oxygenation process. And, the cork, even in a big bottle, is only so large, but you are then adding so much more um, wine. And something about that ratio of the different surface area um, leads to more different or more exciting development in the wine. And so even if the wine was bottled into large and small bottles from the same vintage, from the same barrel, the wine in the large format bottles will age differently. And a lot of people say in a more exciting way. So, I think if you see them a lot of times, I mean, magnums, I think that people should have magnums as part of their game every day. Bring a magnum. Like if you were going to bring 2 bottles of wine to a party, just bring a magnum and be the mayor of that party. People, I think, especially here in the States, see that rarely enough that everyone is going to be like, whoa, who is this person with this big bottle? So I think it's a really fun statement. I think it's really fun to bring to a dinner party. And even in that double bottle format, you're going to see those developmental advantages. But if you're having a wedding, or I don't know, 50th anniversary, or I don't know, you just want to have a really good party, you can have some of these bigger bottles. And they have these fun, biblical prophet names, Jeroboam, Balthazar, and then some people make these gigantic ones, Nebuchadnezzar's. But the fact that you make Balthazar's, right, and do you make magnums as well?
Absolutely. And there's a little sentence from a winemaker that the most people maybe know that a magnum, that means 2 small bottles, a big magnum, is the perfect size for two people when one is not drinking.
That's hilarious. All right, I
So
feel like we should do is we should let people know why we're here again in case people are just joining us. So this is Modo di Bere TV, a live stream in support of our crowdfunding campaign. So we have filmed 8 seasons of the show on 3 continents over the last 3 years. Stefan here of Peter Silva Wines from the Dolomites Mountains from Südtirol was one of the many winemakers that we have interviewed over the years. And we're doing a crowdfund campaign for post production so that we can hire artists, editors, and musicians to help turn our footage into 30 plus episodes. So, a season, 4 episodes in a season is what we're thinking it'll be, so that you can watch it, so that you can have these educational experiences, these kind of wine travel adventure experiences. We also talk about local language on the show, which is super fascinating. Maybe we can ask Stefan a little more about that. But I just want to say, if you're watching this live stream, the reason I'm doing this, the reason I'm putting out trailers and essays and podcasts and, you know, YouTube videos and Instagram videos and running around town handing out little business cards is because we're doing a fundraiser. We really would love your support. And that's how you vote. So you go to mododiberry.com, you hit donate, and then you give in a multiple of 5. So let's say you give $20, you get 4 votes. And I gotta tell you guys, we had a large donor give $500, yay, to the crowdfund campaign and put all their votes behind Piemonte, which is the Dolomites season rival for the purposes of this week. And the reason we're doing a live stream today with the underdog season at this moment in the Dolomites, and you can decide if you want to turn it around. We need, maybe like 20 people to give $25 or something, which shouldn't be impossible. I know some of you have been seeing that I'm up to something over here. So we're not doing a typical crowdfund campaign because we really want to get people invested. We want it to be so interesting that you share it, which is also so important. So even if you are just like, no, I'm not giving any money to anything today, that is fine. We could still really use your help. If you go to mododiberry.com, I made these little flyers that you can send to your friends via WhatsApp, that you can download, email to people, text to people, and just say, hey, my friend is doing a cool wine show. Help me spread the word. It's really interesting. That is also really, really, really helpful. But if you want to donate, you can vote for the Dolomites to proceed in the tournament. And so, each challenge every couple of weeks we're changing over. But at 11:59 a.m. New York time today, either the Dolomites or Piemonte will be eliminated from the contest to decide season 1, the very first episode of Modo di Bere TV. So that's what we're doing here today. And Stefan, I wanted to talk a little bit about language with you, but first I want to point out that the Olympics just took place up there, officially in Milan, but all the skiing and stuff was near you, right?
exactly. So we are very close, as we know, in the Dolomites. Everything is very narrow, and we had very nice Olympic Games. Thank God the weather conditions also gave us an opportunity to make everything covered in white. So it was a wonderful situation because in expecting Winter Olympic Games, snow should be there. And indeed, we been lucky that we got a lot of snow around. It was a wonderful, wonderful thing for everyone, and was really successful. They are still going on with the Paralympics, so wonderful. We are very proud that we did that, and the Dolomites to have this foundation of culture of. Natural environment. It's so wonderful. Even every day when we are going across the country, it's always nice to see what kind of mountains we do have. But also in the world, we have a lot of nice places. And yes, it's up to us to discover and to enjoy it. So hopefully you are coming next year or this year to visit this Dolomites. Why not? Would be very, very interesting to do a tasting together, and it would be a pleasure for
Yes,
me to have you.
listen, you have to visit the Dolomites. You have to go to Südtirol. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like, like have you seen the movie The Sound of Music? That's what it looks like. The hills are alive. Everybody is so nice and so sporty. And you're in Südtirol, right? That I sometimes I'll say that and people will say, no, 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 that's Trentino. So this is the German speaking region of Italy, which was
Exactly.
once Austria. Yeah, I'm hoping that you are, Stefan, I'm hoping that you're going to see, are you expecting to see an uptick in tourism, including wine tourism, because of the Olympics taking place there in the Dolomite Mountains?
I think that for sure the mountains, the people are recognizing the mountains. They are going for ski tours, and Olympic Games are remembering everything in the audience that they can go also there because there are so many places in the world, even in Europe, where you can go for a ski day, and that's for sure helpful. But a lot of people in the history they are coming every year to enjoying the mountains, the Dolomites, and that's the reason why we have already a lot of nice people, and we are looking for more. And for you, if you like to come, let us know. We are doing a ski tour, and in the late afternoon, we can do a tasting. So that
Oh,
was
that
happening.
sounds like a great day. If you're just joining us, we are doing a crowdfund campaign for Modo di Bere TV. Please go to mododibere.com and support the campaign, which means give us some money so that we can finish editing and put out this show, including the Dolomite season. You can vote for the Dolomites there to proceed in the tournament. There's an elimination round between Dolomites and Piemonte today at 11:59 a.m. New York time. But yeah, just go to mododibere.com, check it out. You can read all about it there. And I'm here chatting with Stephan from Peter Sölva Wines in Trentino-Alto Adige in the Dolomite Mountains. I had a wonderful visit with Stephan, which we filmed on the show. I opened a bottle of wine with a sword, or I guess a big knife. I saw some large format bottles, some Balthazars, which is very cool and unique. And I also did some blind tasting on cameras. Stephan, I love the way that you put me on the spot. That was really fun. I did okay, I think.
Absolutely, you did. You absolutely did. So it's always nice. Sometimes we are talking about that what we like and that what we don't like. That's the most important part. Absolutely. But sometimes it's important to give you a chance and to have something in your glass which is unknown, and you can discover what is the smell, what is the taste, and sometimes it's better to don't know what kind of wine is that. That makes you thinking about more and also to find your own personal favorite. It's much better in a blind taste because in that case you're just listening to yourself instead of seeing labels, varieties, and everything. So
Yeah.
makes that point much better for yourself to find your own favorite, which is the most important part.
Yes, it's not just a party trick. It is, listen, it's very cool that people who've studied for a long time can identify the variety and the vintage just from tasting the wine. That's neat. But the real, I think, value of blind tasting is just as Stefan said, is to remove your assumptions, your preconceived notions, and just to put you alone with your senses. It's kind of like turning your phone off. You know what I mean? Like you're like alone
Exactly.
in nature, so to speak, but with the glass of wine. Oh, this is so fun to talk to you again. If you're just joining us,
Absolutely.
yeah, this is Wine Doc Face Off. Modo di Bere TV, my wine and language travel show, has filmed 8 seasons of the show on 3 continents, and you decide which season is going to be first. It could be the Dolomites. This is the underdog season for this challenge. So if you really want the Dolomites to win after hearing this, you want this, you don't want to wait for this season. You want this season to be number one. You're like, hey, I want this season to win. I'm sold. You can go to mododiberry.com, chip in, say like $20, $25. $25 would get you 5 votes. So every $5 gets you a vote. That's how the voting happens. And you just write Dolomites after you hit the donate button. It's pretty easy. You can also share the campaign. That really, really, really helps us. I am trying so hard to design this campaign to be so interesting that people really do share it. And there are some flyers on the website that you can text to your friends. If you don't really care about the contest, there is a general little flyer that you can share and just say, hey, my friend's doing a cool thing. help this lady out, help her get the support that she needs to finish the show. All the money that we're raising is not going to future travel, not this campaign. It's going to post production. So that means it's going to pay artists, illustrators, musicians, and editors to help us turn our footage into the travel show that you'll get to watch, which we're planning to put on YouTube for everybody to see. So please check it out. And I'm here with Stephan from P Sölva Wines. As we've said, if you're just joining us, I just want to make sure you know what's going on. But here, this area used to be Austria, and I think more people speak German as their mother tongue, right? You're there in between. You're in Bolzano is a big town that people go to. You're like about 40 minutes north of Bolzano. Is that right?
We are very close to Bolzano, just 10 kilometers.
Oh, okay,
So,
right.
so very close, just 10 minutes. So we are not so far. And you're right, the German-speaking area, it's not really a German, it's more an Austrian, because if we go back in the history, this region was part of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire and was then annexed to Italy after the First World War in 1919. And that's the reason why the most of the people are speaking German. So the fortune is that we are growing up with three languages. We have three. The first is Austrian or German. The second one is obviously by the history Latin, which is not Latin, it's Latin with the D. And the third one is now obviously Italian. So makes sense to talk about that. And indeed, wir sprechen Deutsch, wir können Deutsch sprechen. You see that we are fluently go in the other languages because that is, as a child, very easy to learn for everyone. So it's great to have both languages, German and Italian.
Do you speak Ladin at all, Stefan?
Unfortunately, Latin is a
It's
selection
pretty
of
rare. It's like
two,
4%. Yeah.
exactly, two valleys, Gardena Valley and Alta Badia Valley. So in that valleys, they are growing up with indeed three languages, German, Latin, and Italian. We are growing up with German, Italian, and English. So we are in the school, we have always three languages.
Right. So, and then some people speak Ladin as well. We in the
Exactly.
show. So Modo di Bere TV is a wine and language travel show, and for every region that we go to, we will make sure to tell a story about local story or stories about local language. So when we went to the Dolomites to Alto Adige to Sud Tirol, we talked about the German Italian crossover and what that's like for people. But we also went to one of these valleys, to one of these beautiful towns, gorgeous valleys. Just you look down, and I kept thinking of like a puzzle box, like what you would see if you go to Bolzano, which is not far where Stefan is with P Sölva Wines. You can ride a cable car up and into these beautiful Dolomitic Alps and see a beautiful view. So we went to these valleys where they do speak Ladin, and just we just showed up at the local bar and interviewed some people who were able to share with us their experience as really this whole community buying in to make sure that the Ladin language continues, which happens with the kids from school. They do a few weeks of school in one language, and then they switch to a different language for a few weeks. It's so interesting. And I just connect the linguistic diversity with the revitalization of grape varieties that I see wonderful small farmers from Italy doing. So, Stefan, why don't you tell us about some of the grape varieties and some of the wines and styles that you have there so that people know what they would be tasting if they visit you or if they look for your wines, which are exported all over the world?
Exactly. Very important, I think, for every region that the region, in this case also South Tyrol or Alto Adige, Süd Tyrol, has their own indigenous varieties. And they are Schiava, very light, easy drinking red wine. Then Lagrein, the second one, which is a dark red wine, also indigenous. And the third one is a white grape variety called Gewürztraminer. So these three varieties are here for us indigenous because they are at home for several centuries. And what makes this region very special as well, that through the climates and through the elevations, mountain influence and valley influence, we have also other varieties, which by the history, now over 250 years, are here also, like Pinot Bianco, Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, and in red, Pinot Noir, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot. And some special varieties, they are maybe not well known across the countries, is like Rosen Muscatella, which is the Moscato Rosa, which is a very rare variety, which is giving us a sweet selection. Also, that is wonderful. And the focus in my winery, in Peter Sölva's wines, is to go for the expression of my fields, of the expression of the vineyard. So we have 60% in the valleys. So there we have mostly the red grape varieties like Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Lagrein, these three. Because in the valleys we have warmer temperatures and red grape varieties. They are absolutely necessary for development, for maturation for red grape varieties. In that, what we call hills and higher elevations between 300 and 800 meters, that is an elevation for white grape varieties. In that case, we have mostly Pinot Bianco, Sauvignon Blanc, and Chardonnay. So these six varieties are our biggest focus. But obviously, the indigenous are always a focus for, especially for our restaurant. We have also in the winery a restaurant and a wine bar where we are pouring the wine also to the people. They can enjoy it with a little bit of South Tyrolean bacon, good cheese from the area,
Oh, the
good
cheese is so
bread
good.
from the area. So just to grab a bite and to enjoy the mountains and a good glass and a good plate.
Listen, you guys, you really should visit Stephan at Peter Sölva Wines. This is a travel show, right? We're showing places around the world where I go and I drink wine and I learn about language with people. And I want to inspire you to travel, even if that's through traveling by drinking a glass of wine wherever you are, because you can find Peter Sölva Wines, which is Stephan's family now for 11 generations, which is extraordinary. You would think that with 11 generations of history, that Stefan would be this very stuffy person, but he obviously is not. That's what I found all over Italy. No one is phoning it in, so to speak. Everyone is working so hard to just make the highest quality wines in the moment. And I think that a visit to Stefan's winery, as I experienced, was both highly educational and also really fun. Their tasting room is super low key. People hang out there just from the town, just to come and have a bite of this beautiful local cuisine with the wine. And it's just a very low key, fun, not stuffy environment where you also get to see some really cool things like Balthazar's, the large format bottles. It's so interesting. And that's why I'm encouraging everybody to go to mododiberry.com and donate to our crowdfund campaign today. Even if you donated before, I'm kind of hoping this is a long campaign. We're doing this bracket style tournament wine dock face off today at 11:59 a.m. New York time. Either the Dolomites or Piedmont will be eliminated from wine dock face off. The contest is just for which season becomes season one. Dolomites is pretty far behind right now because of a large donation from someone who threw all their votes behind Piemonte. So if you're really inspired and you want the Dolomites to catch up, please go ahead and go to mododiberry.com and go ahead and give us a donation. And then when we change over to the next contest, maybe you want to give another small donation. It's going to happen for a while. There's also a very fun little needle that you can check to see if you changed the outcome that we worked hard to program on the homepage. So there's a couple little wine bottles representing each season, and you can click after you donate and see who's winning, which is quite fun. So that's what we're doing. We have fun. We enjoy ourselves. It's educational. We learn things. But we need your support because we're doing a crowdfund for post-production to help us hire a small team of artists, musicians, and editors to turn our footage into the show, to release the show. You just need a little bit of support, and a share is also great support. So if you've been seeing that I'm up to something and you've just been kind of passively checking it out, that's awesome. But please go ahead and share with someone you think would be interesting. Share on your social media page. hey, check out what Modo di Bere TV is doing right now. And there are little flyers on the homepage that you can also text to your friends. So I just want to let you know what your experience would be like if you were to visit Südtirol, Trentino-Alto Adige, which is this region near the beautiful Dolomites Mountains. I visited in the springtime when there are apples blossoming all over the valleys like popcorn. It's absolutely beautiful drive. You see little castles. The hillsides are dotted with these gorgeous little castles. I mean, I guess they're big. Castles are usually kind of big, but in the distance you see these small little castles and you see the vineyards, some in the valleys, but also on the hillsides. And then a lot of times the valleys are full of these beautiful apple trees, with these in the springtime, these beautiful apple blossoms. It was really, really cool. I had been wanting to visit for years, finally made it happen, and I was just enchanted. It must be such a nice place to live.
Yes, it is. But there are so many nice spots in the world, even in your country. I love also the States. There are so many places, wonderful places, wine growing areas, but also woodland, forests. But there is so many to discover, even in your country. So I love to talk about these things. And I think everyone, when we are going around the world, we will find nice spots, and maybe we are one of them. Maybe you are inspired now to come to visit us, and we would looking forward to see you and to taste good wines with you and to share nice food with you. So I think the most important thing is that we are together, we enjoy together that what we have. This is a small planet where we are, and I think it's always time to talk about this, to enjoy and to share it together and to be a little bit happier with that what we have. Because my father told me all the time that mostly the people are looking for that what they don't have, but we have to watch first what we have, and we have so a wonderful planet, and we should do and go for that more often, respect that. It's, I think,
Yes.
very important, and it's lovely to have you and that we are together. People, they are looking for good things. Thank you for
Yes,
that.
yes, we should respect the planet, this beautiful planet, the
Yeah,
biodiversity of the plants
yeah,
and animals, and
yeah,
also of the languages and the culture. I think of it as cultural
yeah.
biodiversity, and these things are here. They're so delightful, and when they're gone, they're gone. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to call attention to some lovely cultural traditions and flavors that hardworking farmers like Stephan of Peter Silva, um, and thoughtful people like the people of the valleys of Südtirol who are doing what they can to make sure that languages like Ladin do not pass from the world. These are the sounds of history that will pass from memory without a little bit of effort. And so that's why I'm going to this effort now for the last 3 years completely independently without, outside support to make this wine show just through my sheer passion and wanting to share what I, as a wine professional, get to experience when I travel in these regions with the greater public. I really want everybody to be able to see what this is like, to communicate what these wines taste like, to show the food and the cuisine and these beautiful, beautiful valleys and mountains. It's such a breathtaking experience. The Dolomites are really interesting. They are behind in the contest. So if you are really inspired and you want to donate, I appreciate it so much. This is for post production for the campaign. So you can go to mododiberry.com and do that. I don't want to lose, speaking of linguistic variety, I don't want to lose anybody who's here who doesn't speak Italian. But for the Italians in the chat and for people who might watch this later, please stick around if you speak English. We're just for a minute, would love to greet everyone in Italian and kind of explain what we're doing, just in case there's somebody who would feel welcomed or more aware of what's going on if we spoke Italian for a few minutes. So is that all right? I mean, Stefan, you must speak like 6 languages.
Absolutely, possiamo parlare anche in italiano, non c'è nessun problema. Sono molto contento che c'è anche gente che è nella audience che parla italiano, e sicuramente modo di bere è perfettamente il nome, il modo di bere. E Rose, in this time, I have just to say thank you again that you did a wonderful job You was also inspiring for us to show everything, and it's so wonderful to have you as an entrepreneur to bring that in that videos, in that live shows, because in the end, to inspire someone to go somewhere, it's important. So also we looking for that, and it's wonderful. It was really a good time with you and to share good wines, good food with you. Thank you to invest so many time and so many efforts to go around the world and to let us know what's in the world happening.
It is my pleasure, and
It's wonderful.
truly,
Thank you
truly,
for that.
and I can't wait to share it with everybody, guys. We want to show Stephan's episode with the world, so please go to mododiberry.com, spread the word, donate to the campaign. Stephan, thank you so much for making time for us. I know you have a million appointments today, and you joined us to let everyone know that they should vote for the Dolomites. I will be back live again at 10 a.m. New York time with the competition with the Piemontese winemaker. But you can watch the trailers. You can check everything out at mododiberry.com. And please, wherever you are, I like to say wherever you go, whatever you like to drink, always remember to enjoy your life and never stop learning. And you can do that with Peter Silva wines. So please look for them. Thank you, Stephan. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much to
Okay.
everyone and hope to see you.
Yes. All right. Ciao. Arrivederci.
Ciao,
Auf
arrivederci,
Wiedersehen.
a
Okay.
presto, auf Wiedersehen. Dankeschön.